he's the big man, and somebody that won't bow to him, it just sparks up like a hatred inside of him. And he thought to lay scorn on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were out throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. In the first month, which is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur before Haman from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month. And so in verse 8, and Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all of the provinces of all the kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all the people. Excuse me. Neither keep the king's laws, therefore it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business, to bring it unto the king's treasures. And the king took his ring from his hand, and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. So right there, it's the Jews' enemy, and now he basically has complete reign and complete control over anything that he wants. And he just tells the king, basically kind of lies to the king and says, listen, there's a people, and he didn't describe who the people was, not knowing that it was Esther's people, but there's a people, and they sin against you. I want control, I want your ring, and I want as much money as I can have, so I can basically kill them off, because I hate them. That's what he's basically saying, and he becomes the Jews' enemy. And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, and the people also, to do with them as it seemeth good to thee. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month, and there was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants, and to the governors that were over every province, and to the rulers of every people of every province, according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, in the name of the king Ahasuerus was written, and sealed with the king's ring. And the letters were sent by post into all the provinces, to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all the Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and to take spoil of them for the prey. And the copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was posted unto all people that they should be ready against that day. So basically, like, they say, I mean, imagine how many people that was up against. Like I said, the Medo-Persian Empire was incredibly huge, and they had to have translators send it to all the tongues and all the nations. It was incredibly huge, and this was a big thing. They basically gave them free reign, saying you can kill the Jews and you can take their profit and take everything that's theirs and call it yours, and it's not against the law. That's basically what this law was saying. And imagine how, like, the Jews felt about that. Like, if you're just kind of put yourselves in their shoes, like, the devil just basically had them in a corner, and he was beating them down, and now there was, like, no way out, absolutely no way out. And how incredible, would you feel if you were the Jews? Like, how scared would you be? I mean, you can be killed, and they can take all your, like, there's no way for protecting your family at this point. Like, it was just scary. Like, and that's what the devil does. He just backs you up into a corner. But, like, the whole time, God had a plan. It was God's inspiration. It was God that inspired Vashti to do what she did, and it was God who inspired Esther to be on the throne. And he was working behind the scenes the whole time. And the devil really thought that he was going to win. Because of what he did, he kind of did win, killing all of God's people at one time. But he still wasn't going to win, but he didn't know that at the point. So go to verse 15. It says, "And the post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment. And the decree was given in Shushan the palace. And the king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city Shushan was perplexed. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes, and went out into the midst of the city, and cried with a loud and bitter cry, and came even before the king's gate, for some might enter into the king's gate clothed with a sackcloth. And in every province, whithersoever the king commanded, and his decree came, there were great mourning among the Jews, and fasting and weeping and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes." And sackcloth and ashes in the Old Testament basically represents repentance. So they didn't know what to do. The Jews were so desperate. They just called on the Lord, and they were so scared, as would anybody be if there was a warrant out for their death and there's nothing they can do about it. All they can do is call on the Lord. And the Lord had a plan to save them, but they had no idea. Like, they're not reading the story like we are now. They just figured, okay, well, we're going to die. Lord, just take us to heaven now, as some of us kind of pray now. Like, Lord, just take me to heaven now. I don't want to be here, you know. Let's see. Let's go to verse. I think we're at verse 4.